Howdy folks, I'm clingy cloudless sulfur, clumsily climbing over carnivorous crevices.
I'm Amber, and I think that was supposed to be cavernous crevices, but
Oh,
I like carnivorous crevices.
well
But
then we're sticking with it. And folks, if this is your first time viewing or you're a new subscriber, then welcome. This is a show where we teach you how to commit petty theft. Petty
no,
theft for the
no,
next 20 minutes.
we do not do that.
So let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Demanding to Check My Brother's Girlfriend's Bags Before They Leave My House? A little bit of background here. I'm a 39-year-old female and I have a brother, a 32-year-old male, who we'll call Chase. Chase has been with this girl, a 35-year-old female, that I'll call Vivian, for almost 2 years now. About a month into the relationship, Vivian got pregnant with my nephew, and they are now almost a year old. Vivian also has 2 daughters, a 5-year-old female and an 8-year-old female from a previous relationship. Her daughters are very close in age to my daughter, a 7-year-old female. And up until last weekend, everyone got along fine. They live in a different state than us, but they come to visit fairly often and stay with us because we have the extra room. Well, last weekend they came to stay again, and about an hour before they left, my daughter noticed that a few of her favorite toys were missing. The girls were playing all weekend, so I didn't think much of it and offered to help her look for them. Well, after about 20 minutes of searching, we could not find the toys anywhere. So I asked Vivian's girls if they remembered where they were playing with them last. And the girls said no, but they acted a little guilty about it. I asked Chase and Vivian about it, and Chase said that he saw the exact toys in the room that Vivian's girls were sleeping in. We went to check, and they were not there. He asked Vivian if she had moved them when she was packing the girls' things that morning, and she said that they were not there. We went back into the living room, and I saw Vivian's girls huddled close over a backpack and quietly closing it when they saw we were there. Chase asked the girls again if they knew where the toys were, and this time they didn't say anything and just looked at their mom. Chase reached for the bag and Vivian lost it. She started yelling about how dare I accuse her daughters of stealing, and she tried to snatch the bag away. Chase opened it, and there were the missing toys inside, plus a few more. I absolutely was furious. I told her that I want to see what else she had and demanded that she open the 2 suitcases. She said that that was an invasion of her privacy, and they tried to take them and leave. Chase stopped her and made her open them. She had taken several tops, a few skirts and dresses, a brand new pair of Nikes that belonged to my daughter. I took everything back, and I told them that she and the girls were not welcome back in my house. I have since received several texts from her and a few unknown numbers telling me that I embarrassed her and upset her girls because they were promised the items. Chase is upset with her, but said that I was too mean to her in front of everyone and that I could have handled the situation more privately. I do feel awful that her girls left crying, but am I the jerk for how I handled the situation? Edited ad, answering a few questions I kept getting. I'm not sure who promised the girls what items, and she would not elaborate, but I'm assuming that it was her. She wanted me to pull her aside into a different room away from Chase and the kids to talk about the situation. Also, yes, I'm 99% sure that the baby is his. He almost is a carbon copy of my brother when he was a baby. I do not believe that the girls knew that they were stealing things. I really believe that their mom told them and said that it was okay. We never had a problem with the girls like this before. They really seem to be good kids. Also, I'll be talking with my brother tonight or tomorrow to discuss this further. Edit 2, I will be speaking with my brother in about an hour, and I have been in contact with someone who knows her, and a lot has come to light. I will update again if my brother says that I can, as it's his life, not mine. Vivian is not at all who she claims to be. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, she only wanted to be interrogated in private, so that because she wanted her husband to not see this, so that she could sweep this under the rug and either make it out to be some big miscommunication or just keep the stuff and be like, you're invading my privacy. Like, wasn't the brother literally the one who opened up the bags in front of everyone? So it's not like OP did that. So him being like, you should have done this in private. Like, dude, you were the one who took the bags and opened them.
Yeah.
And I think that was the right move, was to open them, because she was being very sus,
Yeah.
and everything she was doing was like, none of this was okay. She was literally stealing from OP's child.
Well, I think that's really what it boils down to, right? She was stealing, and I would be a little doubtful that the girls were completely innocent in this situation too. I know that OP is saying that they were, but their mother clearly coached them on what to say in the situation, and they had to have known that something wasn't quite right if they weren't answering truthfully, right? You know, a
Yeah,
9-year-old, or what was it? One of them was 9 or something,
I
or
think
something like
so.
that.
Yeah.
That's old enough to know that taking someone else's possessions and then lying about it is not right, right?
Right. Well, but it sounds like the mom was the orchestrator of all of
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Like, it is one thing when kids on their own decide to take something. Like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
they need to be held accountable, but like kids are growing still. But to have a full-grown adult creating this plan and enlisting her kids to help her in this thievery is unconscionable.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the whole OP forcing them to open up the bags and stuff like that?
I mean, I think it had to happen
Hmm.
because, the things were missing and everyone was being kind of dodgy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely think that that was enough evidence to go forward with it. I think that,
I mean, she could have called the police and had the
yeah,
police search things.
that's the only other solution that I could think of. You know, when I was thinking about this, is that she could have brought the police into this, which I don't think she would have appreciated. I think she would have appreciated it even less at that
Mm-hmm.
point in time. So I think she kind of got off easy in a lot of ways because, you know, this stealing isn't legal, you know? So not good, not good. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Nowie says, not the jerk, and oh my goodness, this is a hot mess. You should not feel bad for their crying, but you might talk to your brother about his terrible choice in partners. And OP replies, our family really loved her, but she has never done anything before this, to my knowledge, that was a major red flag. Unfortunately, even if he does leave her, he's stuck with her for another 17 years. And Jay Crashby says, not the jerk. OP, this is the first time she was caught. How much other stuff was stolen while visiting your home over the years? She is a kleptomaniac and cannot be trusted. She is so bad that she is stealing toys and giving it to her kids. I'm 100% sure that she told her kids that they can have those toys. Also, her texting you is terrible. She's a terrible person. And OP replies, yes, I just learned a lot about her from someone who knows her, and there is a lot to unpack. So far, I know that she's lied about almost everything and has a pretty extensive record under a completely different name than what she told us. And New Federalist Project says she's using fake names and has a record. Oh my goodness. I was going to say that you're not the jerk, but also like, wow, she's so much more evil than I expected. I'm so sorry that you have to deal with this. And OP replies, not necessarily fake. Apparently, she was married before the girl's dad and was telling us that the first husband's last name was her maiden name. I'm honestly sick because now I know that we know absolutely nothing about this woman who has had access to my home for the last year and a half. Wow, that took a bit of a turn.
Yeah.
What do you think of that new development?
I mean, I think that OP's brother probably needs to think seriously about this relationship.
Yeah, run far and run fast, you know, because what's happening here is just not okay at all. Like if she's using false pretenses and she
Mm-hmm.
actually has like a criminal record and everything like that, then this might go a lot deeper. And I think that that person might be right, where this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg.
That's what it feels like.
So I think that OP, you know, if they've ever noticed things kind of like they thought they had something and it suddenly it's vanished, now maybe you know where it went. It's not the vortex that ate it, it's your sister-in-law. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, am I a jerk for winning my mom's storage unit at auction instead of giving her the money to save it herself? I'm a 24-year-old female, and I was in and out of foster care. My mom would lose custody of me and my 3 siblings only to do the bare minimum to get us back, just for the cycle to repeat. I eventually aged out of the foster care system and I went to college and I moved to another state. I still check in with my mom every week. She was diagnosed with heart failure, which came on from other terrible decisions. I offer support when she reaches out, whether it's with money, food, etc. Most of the time I don't hear back, and when I do, it's usually because she wants something. She has a long history of lying and stealing from all of us. She's currently homeless. We have offered her a place to stay if she gets clean, and she won't. After we turned 18, we reconnected with our extended family, grandparents, and cousins, and those relationships have become important to us. A couple of months ago, she called me in a panic at 2 o'clock in the morning. She said that her storage units were about to be auctioned off, that she wasn't even behind on payments, and that the owners were trying to scam her. She needed $1,000 immediately because there were only 15 hours left before the auction. I told her that I would check in the morning once I got to work and see what I could do. Well, the next day I did some digging and I looked at the contents of the storage units. What was listed broke my heart. Family photos, vases from great-grandparents, personal documents, birth certificates, social security cards, my mom's clothing and tools, and everything from my grandmother's house. She passed away just last year. I decided to bid on the unit myself and ended up spending nearly $1,200 for it. Afterwards, I spoke with the owners, who told me that they had been trying to help my mom for months. Discounts, payments extensions, etc. But eventually she just stopped answering them. They said that they had no other option but to auction it. I was devastated. My siblings said that if I hadn't stepped in, all of those memories and important documents would have ended up in a stranger's hands. My siblings were relieved and grateful, but my mom, she accused me of violating her trust and told me that I emotionally robbed her, that I stole from her, and said that I was a mistake. She even claimed our grandparents would be ashamed of me. I ended up taking a few days off from work. I drove out of state to the unit and I went through everything. I only kept what belonged to me and my siblings, photos and documents, anything that had our family history, and I didn't throw away a single item of hers. Instead, I rented a new storage unit just down the road, moved all of her belongings there, and I paid 3 months in advance. I gave her all the info, and now I'm stuck with this heavy feeling. I can't shake the guilt, like I crossed the line or I sank to her level somehow. But at the same time, I couldn't bear to see everything important to us vanish, especially knowing that it would probably happen again in 6 months. Am I the jerk for buying the storage unit out from underneath her? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
No, not the jerk. It is clear that the mom is not getting whatever help she needs and is unwilling to get the help she needs. And unfortunately, that has kind of put all this stuff in limbo. And so I think OP was doing what she could to preserve the things that were meaningful to her and her siblings. Because if she just paid off the storage unit this one time, like the mom's still going to have to come up with a rent again the next month and the next month and the next month. And it's going to be a rinse and repeat cycle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem I have here, is it feels like this is going to be one of those situations where OP is going to be chasing after trying to save their family effects forever. And OP is a responsible individual, and it's clear that the mother isn't a responsible individual. And these documents, these important documents, are something that OP deserves to be able to collect and actually have, right? It's unfortunate that the mom needs help, but that's, OP has offered, the other siblings have offered. She's let this happen. It shows that she's not a responsible individual. And I think that OP is doing the only thing that makes sense in this, as hard of a situation as it is. I wouldn't consider this theft at all, right? But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And CAD2262 says, as someone who had a very similar upbringing and lost all those same memories and more to a storage unit, I wish I had known when my mother's went up for auction, and I would have snatched it up real fast for myself and my sister. Unfortunately, I never knew, so everything was lost. So my vote is not the jerk. Don't feel guilty. You did right by you and your siblings. And OP replies, I'm so sorry that you did not have the opportunity. After reading everyone's responses, I feel a lot better about my decision, and I can see my mother for who she is. Most of you are right. She would have used the money for other things, or if she did use it for the unit, it would have been auctioned off again anyways. I wish you could go back and get those amazing memories. I'm more than grateful that I have them. I just wish it didn't have to come to it. And Gray-Eyed Queen 7 says, not the jerk, I'm a mom of a daughter your age, and I'm giving you a big hug in my heart, even if you can't feel it. I'm proud of you. You stepped in and saved critically important papers and family items, paid a lot of money, and did a lot of work, and all for your family. That's a lot of love right there, not to mention responsibility. I'm so dang proud of you for all the hard work. Your mom is embarrassed and ashamed, so she's lashing out at you. That's not cool. Just keep telling yourself that you did the right thing no matter what, because you did, and that she is acting like an immature addict. Another big hug. And OP replies, thank you. I really appreciate this. Hugs back. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for telling my sister that I'm not getting her stuff that she wants for Mother's Day? I'm a 21-year-old female, and I told my sister, a 27-year-old female, a couple weeks ago that I will not be following her wish for her list for Mother's Day this year because I'm tight on money, as I just got a new car and I want to get our mom something nice for Mother's Day this year. She was upset and told me that she didn't want a gift card and that me and my brother could go half on a gift for her. My brother is also tight on money due to his financial obligations, and he could barely afford to get our mom flowers for her birthday a couple of weeks ago. Well, she brought it up again, and I told her the same thing. She would still get something from me, but I'm not in a position to go all out for 3 people this year, because my brother's birthday also falls on Mother's Day this year. For a bit of backstory, my sister has very expensive tastes. Going half with my brother would mean at least $50 coming from me, or possibly more, to cover a little more of the cost for my brother. For her birthday, I went half, $100, on a purse with my mom for her. And with a new car payment and insurance, I can't afford something nice for 2 people. Well, now she's upset when I said no again and said that she didn't want a gift card or flowers. I said that she was ungrateful and the day is to acknowledge her as a mother, and I told her that she isn't even my mom, she's my sister. And I wanted to get our mom, the person that birthed me, a nice gift because with the years that she had, I really think she deserved it. She ended the conversation, and very obviously is upset with me and hasn't said a word since. So I'm the jerk for telling my sister that I won't get her exactly what she wants this year, but that I will get her something to acknowledge that she is a mother. Edit, I think I should have added this originally, but my sister isn't married, and she is no longer with the baby's father. My niece is 18 months, not old enough to get her something quite yet. I wanted to get her something small because I feel bad, and I don't want her to feel left out or forgotten. Last year, I didn't get her anything material. I made a card for her with a baby handprint on them. That's it. All right, folks, what do you think?
No, absolutely not the jerk. It was very kind of you, OP, to offer her something, but she certainly is not entitled to a Mother's Day gift from you. Like, no one is entitled either, but like, especially the fact that she's not your mom, like most people don't get their siblings Mother's Day gifts.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that OP is going above and beyond here, and I understand OP's feelings on not wanting to let their sister down or having them feel left out. And that's certainly a noble thing right there. But again, this isn't OP's problem. The sister is just being entitled at this point in time.
She's
Right?
being very, very choosy.
Yeah, a choosy beggar.
Yep.
So yeah, I would have to say that OP isn't in the wrong here, and I think that they're being a good sibling, and they're working within their financial constraints here. The sister is being greedy. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for taking back everything of value after my girlfriend cheated on me? I'm a 22-year-old male, and I just broke up with my 23-year-old female girlfriend. After the breakup, I took back everything of value that I had given her, like a phone, laptop, and anything else I had bought. Right now, I don't even know what to do with these things, but I was betrayed, and I felt like that they were mine, and that I had the right to take them back. But I've been studying and working at the same time, saving up every little bit of money for our summer trip. But today I felt exhausted at work, and when I got home, I saw something that I wish I hadn't that made me fall apart between me and my ex. Now I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to do next. All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, if these were legitimate gifts, then yes, you're in the. I mean, everyone's a jerk here, but you are in the wrong for taking back gifts. I'm sorry she hurt you. That is, not a good thing, and that was bad on her. But once you have given someone a gift, when there are no conditions attached, you cannot take that back.
I think that's really the moral of this at this point in time. It's unfortunate, but OP gave these things as a gift. If they weren't alone, then you have no right to take them back. Now, especially if like they were birthday presents or other type Christmas presents and stuff like that, there isn't the idea that, oh, you can just take those back whenever you want, right? Really, the only item that you can kind of take back is an engagement ring if the other person was unfaithful or something else. So that's really the only type of gift that you can take back in those kinds of situations, right?
Right, because the taking back in this case is theft. If they were actually given to her, then it is theft, and you could get into legal trouble if she were to press charges against you.
Mm-hmm. And maybe she won't out of feeling guilt and whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily make it right or ethical, right? So, especially a laptop, where in this day and age, laptops and phones and stuff like that are kind of necessary for everyday life.
Right, well, she has important documents, and OP's in school, so if she's in school too and has her
Yeah.
coursework on her laptop.
Then this could actually be like a life, almost ruining moment by taking a laptop away from somebody. So hopefully OP, and the phone too, is kind of a lifeline in a lot of ways. Certainly, like, I wouldn't blame OP if they had the line under their name and to say, look, you've got a month to transfer the ownership of the phone to yourself. Otherwise, I'm not going to pay your bill. Yeah, OP's not under obligation to continue paying for like their phone plan if that's the case, but they can't just take back a phone because it was a gift. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. You're the jerk like it's your full-time job.
I mean, I understand OP's hurting right now, but yeah, you can't just go and steal people's stuff and be like, I'm taking this back.
And Mother Search 3350 says, sell them and put the money into your travel fund. And DT Folsom says, OP, I'm not sure if I'm barred in your state. This is not legal advice, but I am advising you check your laws in your state because in basically every jurisdiction I know of, the general default rule is once you give a gift, it's not your property anymore. Yeah, thank you, the lawyer in the comment section. And Northwest Radio says this, taking stuff from the ex-girlfriend would be considered theft in most jurisdictions. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why are skyscrapers great for bookworms?
Well, skyscrapers are really great for bookworms because up in the sky, in the firmament, there's actually a lot of books, all right? And what skyscrapers can do is during like a powerful windstorm, they might shake back and forth, right? And in this process of moving back and forth, their lightning rods, if they're tall enough, can actually scrape a hole in that, right? And what that'll do is that'll cause books to start pouring out, right? Like rain, right? And so if you're ever around a skyscraper during a windstorm, you'll notice there might be like papers and other things like that flying around and everything. Those are probably from them being scraped out of the sky and onto the ground and stuff like that. So that's why.
Somebody likes to tell some tall tales today, but because they have a lot of stories.
Oh, they do. Like I said, they scrape them out of the sky.
And today is it's National Share a Story Month.
Oh, so make sure to tell a story, whether true or biographical.
I mean, you leaned into the month without even knowing it. With your little skyscraper story.
Yes, it's biographical. It's biographical. And I have licorice spice. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Terrific Tuesday, folks. Spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on petty theft.
Don't.
That's right, folks. Don't petty theft. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.